Everyone has a different conversational style. If you have an extroverted personality, you can probably be planted in any social situation and at least get the small talk started without feeling the pain. However, if you are on an introverted side, this situation can make you awkward. All you can think about is how much you would like to escape. But don't need to worry, everyone, when you have Mindset Madness with you. We will help you out from getting into any of these situations and will share some secrets to getting better at talking to people. Before diving into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel Mindset Madness and hit the bell icon. Number 1. Listen. It's a fact that each and every one of us going to any family gathering or in any function, because that annoying lady who keeps asking us questions and is worried about our results more than our parents, and we just simply used to ignore her, and likewise other people who sound irritating. But you know what? This is when it becomes our habit of not paying attention to the one who is talking to us, and this is where we lack the ability to actually engage in any conversation. Listening is a key component to getting better to talking to people. If you are really paying attention to what the other person is saying and not thinking about something else, the speaker will appreciate that gift and a bond will be created between the both of you. We usually spend more time evaluating what the speaker is saying or figuring out their responses instead of listening to that person. It's not that difficult to build this habit. Start having a conversation with your grandparents or anyone and practice it. Luckily, the world is full of people who have a story to tell and will welcome the opportunity to share it with you. Number 2, show interest. While having a conversation with a friend, we often receive the response saying, "Are you listening?" or "Do you understand what I'm saying?" and this kind of other statements even when you are listening to them properly. Here the issue comes. It can be because you are not giving any social cues that they are used to having in any conversation. Here, you may lack the ability to express what is going on in your mind. Interest can be reflected through your body language. Showing interest in any conversation makes it more interesting. It's pretty easy to show interest in a topic when it's genuine. The words almost flow right out of us. Showing interest when you are not interested, however, can be pretty difficult. That's why it is recommended to use rules that are easy to remember and follow. Smile or express the emotion according to the topic of discussion. Open and relax as if you have been doing this for ages. You have to be aware of the nervous gestures in between and after. Following these tips, ask questions. It will make you appear as if you are listening and paying attention only to them. Number 3, ask open-minded questions. While having a conversation, especially in the one in which we are not interested, we seem to lack interest, which results in having a boring conversation. Because we end up the conversation with those dumb and one-word responses like, or okay, let's see, and many more. Open-ended questions create space for people to feel comfortable to elaborate. When you ask somebody, "How are you doing?" you both know that you expect a short and concise answer and not their whole life story. However, if you will ask someone, "What did you end up doing yesterday?" or "What are your plans for today?" it will make them feel as if you're very interested in listening to them, and it will encourage them to share some more details and come up with a more thoughtful response. It will simply conclude in having a great conversation. This is the key trick. If you master the art of opening up and asking the questions open mind, then you and the other person will never get bored, and this will be the start of getting better at talking with people. Number 4, be interesting. Well, we are all aware of the fact that it's human nature that we are attracted to the one who seems confident to us and appears to actually be interested in having a fun conversation with us. And you must have experienced a crowd when they are around. Being interesting is one of the greatest personality traits in any individual. We all should develop an outgoing and impressive personality that will enhance the quality of learning. Everyone has qualities that make them unique by trying to develop their persona. It doesn't take much to be interesting. You can be bold in your approach. You can speak up when you are attracted to someone. That's honesty. You can be true to yourself by not trying to impress, but connect. That's authentic. You can be reliable, consistently communicate, say who you are, be who you are. Some people are naturally interesting, but there are also ways to learn to be more engaging. They try new things. They don't hide their quirks. They check their egos at the door. They are always learning what they share and they discover, and this makes them interesting. Number 5, compliment. Remember when the teacher used to appreciate us for the complete work in front of the whole class? We, as kids, used to feel like the superior from all. The way we flaunt in front of others is something cringy and humorous. But did you notice something? We get motivated and excited when someone appreciates us or compliments us. Praise activates the reward circuit in the receiver's brain, heightening their focus and motivation. When you praise someone, that person is experiencing a good feeling in the resultant surge of dopamine. This is an essential component of any part of conversation. People feel very attracted to you when you start complimenting them. The easiest compliment is, of course, style. In order to give a successful compliment, the most important part is being genuine and creative. Go beyond, "You look great tonight," or "I like your outfit," and try to be specific about a special item, the unique pairing of clothes, etc. Sometimes jewelry will have an extra story behind them that will open up the conversation. Being in the habit of giving compliments helps us notice and appreciate what's good and what we like in those around us. So being complimentary helps us create an optimistic, happier outlook. Number 6, don't multitask. In our day-to-day life, we face lots of obstacles and difficulties. Some of us are able to let go of them, while the others stay irritated by the thought of the whole day. This makes a big impact on your life and on the people with whom you interact. If you will think of anything continuously in your mind, then it will definitely cause any mental problem, and also it will make a big impact on your daily conversations. You will fail to pay attention to the speaker if you will decide to stay with your problems all day long. Be present. Be in that moment. Don't think about that argument you had with your boss. Don't think about what you're going to have for dinner. If you want to get out of the conversation, get out of the conversation. But don't be half in it and half out of it. If you don't notice yourself drifting off during the conversation, gently redirect your attention without judgment. Above all else, breathe and relax. You are exactly where you need to be. Number 7, be brief. Having a conversation is great. Complimenting someone is genuine. Talking about something interesting is amazing, but it gets tiring when people start going into depth. This means when they start discussing their daily routine, who is interested to know when you brush your teeth or have breakfast? It just simply makes the conversation boring and makes a bad impact on the speaker. Just get to the point. Don't over-explain. A much better way would be to be brief and only portray points that are relevant, completely. Are you giving them too much information that they don't need to know? Say what you need to say, then stop talking and listen to what the other person has to say. You can't hold anyone's attention if you're not brief. Being brief has its merits that add to the ability to influence. Aim to be brief in your conversations to make our speech easier to retain for the listener. There are ways to be concise when having a conversation. Be clear with yourself about what you're attempting to communicate and avoid at all costs getting distracted by other issues, ideas, points, stories, and so forth. Number 8, use your voice wisely. Getting better at talking sounds as if you are only having to work on your listening skills, complimenting, being interesting, or focusing. It always includes one more crucial step, that is to use your voice wisely. Sometimes it is not what you say, it's how you say it. The more musical and rhythmic your voice is, the clearer and more memorable the point will be. It is crucial to learn how to alter your voice according to the situation. Lower, deep voices convey power and authority. We prefer voices that are rich, smooth, and warm. Monotonous voices are not easy to listen to. Intonation, rhythm, and stress are important. We get excited by saying something really quickly, loudly. We can also slow down and lower the volume to emphasize. Silence is gold and can be very powerful. Much better than those ums and uhs. Use these tips and tricks wisely to make people interested in what you have to say. Master these skills and have a great conversation ahead. Number 9, know when not to talk. Well, for a great conversation, you must need to know when not to have a conversation. Sounds confusing, right? Let me explain. One of the reasons that a conversation may not stay long can also include that you are not aware of the fact that when you have to stop. Some people prefer no conversation at all, especially in confined situations such as a public transportation. You might think it's great to while away the boring hours on a long airplane ride by conversing with your seat neighbor. However, if you're getting cues from that passenger or others around you to the contrary, then take the hint that your silence would be considered golden. If you find yourself constantly doing this whenever you go and getting negative feedback, make sure you won't be bored by bringing along something to read or do to keep yourself amused. Number 10, don't judge. When you're quick to judge people and situations, you hinder the natural process of communication. When people know you're judgmental, they automatically take a step back. They become wary of you and think twice before sharing anything meaningful. If you want to have relationships that aren't superficial, you need to learn to accept people as they are. Distancing people will lead you to missing out on making a connection with friends and family. Social isolation can increase the risk of death anywhere from 50 to 90%. The more negative a person is, the more likely he is to drive away friends. No one likes listening to a constant barrage of complaints. You have to be okay that it might be awkward for a bit, but if you keep going, hopefully you'll get to that stage where you're having a real conversation. Till then, keep struggling to reach your desired goal, and it's now time to say goodbye to all of you. We will meet with another interesting video of Mindset Madness.